Your name was mentioned in a government meeting. They talked about your dressing style, savin55 that you look like. My beloved child, listen carefully and don't move away from this screen. Something happened behind closed doors, in a place you never expected your name to echo. Inside the government meeting room, under the glow of sterile white lights, someone powerful leaned forward and spoke your name with quiet certainty. The air shifted. Eyes turned. The room fell silent for a moment that felt eternal. Then, one voice whispered that your dressing style carries an energy not seen in years, a calm dominance, a mysterious command that unsettles even those seated in power. Stay with me till the end, because what I'm about to reveal next will shake you. They didn't just mention you casually, they analyzed you. Your photos, your presence, even the way you stand, everything was discussed in detail as if decoding a classified signal hidden inside your aura. One senior member tapped the table and said, "This one doesn't even realize the storm they're walking with." His tone wasn't criticism, it was reverence mixed with fear. The others nodded, unsure whether to be impressed or alarmed. Someone in that room, a woman with steel in her voice and grace in her stare, said something you need to hear. She said, "They look like someone who was never meant to blend in, someone the system couldn't design, only destiny could." The statement froze the room again. Those words weren't about fashion, they were about presence. Your name carried an energy that bent the rhythm of that meeting. Behind every protocol, every decision, your essence lingered like a riddle they couldn't solve. They saw in you a reflection of something the world once feared and adored, pure individuality. You see, my beloved, you were never meant to be unnoticed. The way you dress, the way you walk, the silence you bring when you enter, it's not accidental. It's an aura signature. And today, the people at the highest table finally admitted that your energy disturbs the ordinary order. Stay. Don't scroll. Because what they said next will change how you see yourself forever. When the meeting adjourned, a man who rarely speaks, a strategist, lingered behind. He leaned over his papers and whispered to his aide, "Keep an eye on them. They look like someone who's preparing for something greater." That line wasn't recorded officially, but someone who heard it leaked it quietly. The government doesn't usually talk about style, but with you, it wasn't about clothes. It was about the power that radiates through your simplicity, your stillness, your refusal to copy trends. Your fashion became a metaphor for your strength, quiet, unpredictable, ungovernable. As they analyzed your presence, some saw a leader, others saw a mystery, but all agreed on one thing: you carry an elegance that cannot be trained or faked. Your energy speaks in a language only old souls understand. Archangel Michael says, "Those who underestimate your silence will soon be forced to acknowledge your command." Your name was not mentioned by mistake, it was divinely timed. Heaven allowed it to happen so the world would finally take notice of the unseen light around you. You might not realize this, but since that meeting, subtle movements have started. Certain people are now watching, not to harm, but to understand why you affect energy fields when you enter a space. You've been marked as the one with unusual resonance. The world doesn't yet know how to label it: charisma, intuition, destiny. But they feel it. Even your dressing style carries alignment. The colors you choose seem to match upcoming events, as though you unconsciously predict atmospheres before they arrive. Don't be alarmed. You were chosen for this awareness. The whispers in that room weren't just politics, they were recognition. They sensed a power they couldn't classify, and they're both fascinated and cautious about it. So remain grounded. Walk with quiet confidence. Every thread you wear, every glance you give, has meaning written by something larger than control. You are not ordinary, and now, the ones who once overlooked you are realizing they've been standing in the presence of something extraordinary. In that meeting, one official broke the silence with a smile and said, "They look like someone who already knows the future." That line wasn't planned, but it carried a vibration so strong that even the recording devices glitched for a few seconds. Yes, your name distorted technology for a heartbeat. That's not coincidence. You carry energy that shifts frequencies. You've noticed lights flicker when you're emotional, or songs change at the perfect moment. It's the same energy that was felt inside that chamber. They called it a presence unexplainable. Don't move away. You need to understand, this is only the beginning. The attention you've drawn isn't temporary, it's spiritual recognition masked as curiosity. You're walking into a phase where people in power will try to connect with you under different disguises, collaborations, interviews, offers. Archangel Michael says, "Discern everything but fear nothing." The light that surrounds you is not accidental, it's protective, royal, ancient. Outside that meeting, someone said softly, "They look like they don't even try, yet everything about them commands." That statement spread through corridors like electricity. Suddenly, assistants, journalists, and even security guards began searching your name. They wanted to see what kind of person had just unsettled a government board. And when they saw your pictures, silence fell again. It wasn't beauty they noticed first, it was composure. You had the stillness of someone who's seen storms and survived them without letting the wind change their posture. That's what power looks like when it forgets it's powerful. Stay till the end, because the next few lines hold your turning point. After that day, something strange happened. Certain officials started referencing your name in unrelated discussions, about innovation, leadership, and new beginnings. It's as if your energy infiltrated every topic subconsciously. You became the unseen example, the quiet benchmark for authenticity. You didn't attend the meeting, but your essence dominated it. Someone even said, "They remind me of those rare ones history writes about when everyone else is too busy to notice." That's how you were described, not as a trend, but as a phenomenon. My beloved, you've been validated in rooms you've never entered. People you've never met are defending your name without realizing why. That's divine orchestration. Listen closely now. What they saw wasn't your clothes, it was your truth wrapped in fabric. The way you choose your colors, the way you refuse loudness, the balance in your form, it mirrors a cosmic symmetry. It tells the world, I'm aligned, not designed. Someone powerful sensed that you carry a kind of timelessness, and they were right. Because your energy is not from this generation, it's ancestral, deeply coded with wisdom that modern systems can't measure. You belong to a rare frequency that speaks before words. So if lately you've felt eyes on you, emails you didn't expect, or strange synchronicities around your public image, it's connected. They're still studying what exactly makes you impossible to ignore. Archangel Michael says, do not hide now. Your light was meant to be seen, not for vanity, but for visibility of truth in a world addicted to disguise. They spoke about your dressing style, but what they were truly trying to understand was your spiritual armor. Because your fashion is not about trend, it's about energy. Every color you choose radiates your state of peace. Every fabric you wear holds intention. And those who sit in seats of power know energy when they feel it, even if they pretend they don't. That's why they spoke your name like a mystery. That's why silence followed. That's why heaven smiled quietly above that room. And now you must stay steady. Do not change your style to impress, you already impress without effort. The message was simple. Keep walking exactly as you are. Because those who recognize your frequency are aligning with your path unknowingly. Mark this night, because it was not a coincidence. That meeting opened a new frequency where your name will start appearing in unexpected places, lists, opportunities, connections that seem random but are not. The world is shifting its gaze toward authenticity, and you are the symbol of it. You are being observed, yes, but with awe, not harm. They want to understand how someone without influence became influential. They want to learn why your simplicity feels like power, and why your silence feels like command. So continue to walk with grace. Heaven has already sealed your identity as the unrepeatable one. Stay till the end, because this part will unlock your understanding. They said you look like someone who belongs to the next era. They said your style feels like prophecy wearing fabric. And they weren't wrong. Because what they couldn't explain with words, the universe is about to express through events. Doors that were locked for years will open effortlessly. People who doubted you will suddenly echo your vision. You've entered the zone where everything aligns silently in your favor. If you've been waiting for confirmation that your uniqueness was noticed, this is it. The world's eyes are on you, not for show, but for guidance. Keep being unapologetically yourself. Keep dressing like peace disguised as power. And remember, Archangel Michael stands behind you, adjusting your unseen crown every time you rise. My beloved child, stay right here with me and don't even think of scrolling. Because what unfolded after that meeting is far beyond anything they expected. When your name was spoken, the air didn't just shift, it carried a vibration through walls, corridors, and devices. Within hours, your energy had reached people who weren't even in that room. The official who first mentioned your name tried to brush it off later, calling it just an observation. But deep down, everyone knew it wasn't random. The way they said you look like someone who doesn't belong to this timeline, it echoed. It stuck in their minds. It made them search. And by the next morning, there were whispers across departments, phone calls that paused mid-sentence, and messages written but never sent. Your name had become a frequency that unsettled routine. A few people even claimed they had dreams about you, dreams where you were standing in front of a mirror of light, dressed in white and gold, speaking words they couldn't remember but couldn't forget either. Stay till the end, because this is the part where the ordinary world starts to bend around your energy. One official, who never believes in intuition, confessed that when he saw your photo on a file, he felt something warm behind his chest, like the presence of something greater watching him. He called it a pulse of destiny. That night, while the meeting notes were being typed, the clerk noticed the lights flicker each time your name appeared on the screen. They joked about it at first, until the entire computer froze exactly at the line describing your appearance. It took 5 minutes to restart. The system itself refused to process your description as if protecting your essence. Archangel Michael says, your aura has now reached levels of divine recognition. Those in power are not just observing you, they are being transformed by your vibration. Every time they mention you, their energy field adjusts slightly toward truth. That is the impact of a chosen soul walking unseen through worldly structures. They tried to decode your style, your simplicity, your precision, your quiet defiance, but they couldn't. One analyst said, they look like someone carrying both history and future in their posture. That statement ended the discussion. Because everyone in that room suddenly realized they were in the presence of something unrepeatable, even from a distance. Since that day, subtle movements have begun. Invitations will start coming, people will approach you pretending it's business, but it's alignment. They are drawn to your balance, your command without effort. Even strangers in public spaces will start recognizing you unconsciously, offering silent respect without understanding why. My beloved child, don't let this attention confuse you. You are not being watched to be judged, you are being witnessed to be remembered. The universe is using you as a living lesson in authenticity. At midnight, one of the officials who couldn't stop thinking about you walked to his window. He whispered your name under his breath, and in that moment, the city lights outside dimmed for a few seconds, then glowed brighter. He later described it as the energy answering back. This is not superstition, this is resonance. You vibrate on a frequency that interacts with environments. You don't just wear clothes, you wear energy. Every shade you choose reflects a spiritual wavelength that influences human emotion. That's why your presence can silence a crowd without words. That's why rooms shift temperature when you walk in. You've been noticed not because of luck, but because your frequency can't be hidden anymore. The veil that once kept your light contained has lifted. Heaven chose that meeting as the announcement point. Archangel Michael says, walk as though the floor remembers your every step. You are entering a time when everything about you will begin to echo. The way you move, the colors you choose, the tone of your silence, all will become symbols. People will mimic your essence, but they won't replicate your truth. The officials may not realize it, but by speaking your name, they activated a prophecy. Your visibility is divine permission, not attention. So move gently, dress as your soul instructs, and know that every appearance you make now is sacred choreography. Those who analyze you are unknowingly learning alignment. Those who judge your confidence are secretly seeking to understand it. And those who once doubted you will soon find themselves imitating what they once dismissed. One message was recorded privately that night, they look like the calm before a revolution. That line, hidden in digital archives, is the exact description of your energy. Calm, centered, yet unstoppable. You are the silence that makes others reconsider everything. Stay right here and breathe. Because you're not reading this by accident. Your energy has reached this message at the perfect moment, just as it reached that meeting. You were meant to know that your authenticity has already entered conversations that shape systems. Nothing about you is ordinary anymore. The smallest details of your appearance, your tone, your rhythm, your gaze, are now carrying coded messages of awakening into places of authority. A week later, new conversations began. One member said your energy reminded them of a quiet rebellion wrapped in elegance. Another said, "It's not what they wear, it's what their presence wears on us." They all laughed nervously, but they felt it. You had become the mirror showing them who they weren't yet ready to be. Since that meeting, people have started making subtle changes, speaking softer, dressing simpler, standing taller, without realizing they're aligning to your vibration. That's the reach of your frequency. It doesn't demand, it demonstrates. It doesn't shout, it transforms. And now, wherever you go, even random strangers will feel that same recognition. They might look twice. They might smile for no reason. It's not coincidence, it's the world responding to the energy first acknowledged in that sealed chamber. My beloved child, this is your confirmation. The meeting wasn't about politics. It was the universe's way of announcing your arrival into collective awareness. You have been moved from the background to the broadcast, silently, gracefully, without compromise. You're not being invited into attention, you're being initiated into influence. The kind that doesn't need permission. The kind that flows naturally when someone fully embodies who they are. Archangel Michael says, "Stay unshaken. Heaven will speak your name where you've never stepped." And that prophecy is now unfolding in real time. The people who spoke about your dressing style didn't realize they were describing your spiritual armor. Every fabric, every detail reflects a part of your journey, resilience, rebirth, renewal. That's why their words sounded more like admiration than analysis. Now they'll start to see you not as a mystery, but as a message. Your life will become a living reminder of what divine timing looks like when it walks among humans. You won't need to explain yourself. The universe will do the translation for you. Stay till the end, because this truth seals everything. The world doesn't just see you, it feels you. That's why your name echoed through a government room like an ancient chord returning home. And tonight, as you rest, something invisible continues to unfold. The same energy that carried your name into that meeting is now aligning people, moments, and opportunities around you. Every conversation you'll have from now on will carry subtle respect, because the air already knows your worth. The next time someone looks at you and says, "You look different," smile. They're not seeing a change in appearance. They're witnessing a change in frequency. The meeting was only the beginning. The recognition is now global. My beloved child, stay with me and do not move away from this moment. The story you're about to hear is the continuation of something extraordinary, something that began in that quiet government room and now ripples across unseen corridors of influence. Your name has become more than a topic, it has become an awakening trigger. After that meeting, files that carried your image started circulating through private channels. No one was supposed to talk about it, yet somehow, everyone did. They didn't share it for gossip, they shared it out of curiosity mixed with awe. Your presence in those images radiated calm power, something unteachable, something timeless. People couldn't explain why your photograph looked alive. They said your eyes carried both peace and prophecy. And every time someone tried to look away, they found themselves drawn back in. Your aura, even through digital screens, refuse to be forgotten. Stay till the end, because this is where truth starts bending into destiny. A quiet directive was issued after that meeting: find out more about them. But as soon as the team began searching, strange things began happening. Their calls would drop mid-sentence, computers froze, and one investigator said he saw a faint golden light flicker on the monitor when your name appeared. At first, they dismissed it as coincidence. But then, late one night, one of the officials had a dream. He saw you walking through a hall of mirrors. In each reflection, you were wearing something different: a royal blue suit, a silver coat, a plain white dress, but in every image, your eyes glowed the same calm gold. When he woke up, the first thing he whispered was, "They are not just a person. They are a sign." That dream spread through whispers like wildfire. It reached even those who never believed in the unseen. Suddenly, everyone wanted to understand how a single name could shift energy across systems.